Hey Theory students, it's been a while since I've uploaded a video. That's because I've been working on the virtual car stuff and getting that out. I have a little bit of time here where we're going to jump in and we're going to start looking at actual chords and how to build those and how to recognize them as well. Specifically for basic level, it's going to be major and minor. There are also going to be some advanced stuff with augmented and diminished. So chords involve at least two notes, and they're most of the time going to be sounding at the same time. It can be two notes, it can also be like 15 notes if you wanted to. So here's a chord with two notes. Here's a chord with, I don't know, 7 notes. They're all chords, they just have to be notes that sound at the same time, or at least they sound repetitively together. For example, this little ditty here could be considered a chord. It's called a broken chord because I'm playing these 3 notes, which together make a chord, and you can hear those notes individually in there. And so those are kind of the same things that you'll see in music. A chord or a broken chord, same concept, just different ways of writing it out. So over here on my music theory document, I have built the most basic chord, and we're going to look at these specific chords that are called triads. Tri, of course, meaning 3, ad meaning I don't know, but it's triads. So we've got 3 notes here, and this is either going to be a major or a minor chord. So a major chord, if you remember, sounds a bit more happy, joyful, uplifting, whatever. And a minor chord might have a twinge of sadness in it, like this one. And so that just got inputted up there. So you see the difference right there between a major and a minor chord. The difference is going to be just that 3rd note. Sorry, I have to unplug something back here, so it won't do that again. Okay, there we go. So the difference is going to be that middle note. You see here in a major chord, we have just an E natural, but in the minor chord, it is a half step lower. Okay, it is an E flat, and that is going to be the main difference between them. So here is how chords are built. I'm going to teach you 2 separate ways of how to do this. First of all, we're going to look at the intervals and the distance between them. So if I start out here, I have, let's go to this note right here. I have an F and then I have an A. The distance between these is a 3rd. For a major 3rd, we're looking for, for a major chord, a major triad, we are looking for a major 3rd between the bottom and the middle note. Okay? So the bottom note is an F, the next one is an A. So we come down here to our keyboard here. Sorry, I don't have mirroring. Everything costs money, and apparently my free trial ran out. I was mirroring my iPad from up above, looking down on my keyboard. But so we have an F to an A. For a major 3rd, we need 4 half steps. For a minor 3rd, we need 3. So here's the F. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4 half steps. That means this is a major 3rd. And then if we add a 5th on top, so we have 0, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's a 5th. For a perfect 5th, we need 7 half steps. So here's an F. Here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 half steps. So if I put these 2 together, I now have a major triad. Okay, a major chord. So if I would go back and instead I would make this into an A flat. Now the distance between the bottom and the middle note, or as we call it, the root and the 3rd. So the root of the chord is always like the bottom note if it's written perfectly like this. So we have an F as the root, and then the 3rd is an A flat. That creates, here's the F, 1, 2, 3 for the A flat. That creates a minor 3rd there, and then we keep this perfect 5th and put it on top. Now we have a minor triad. Okay, so that's the minor with an A flat. Here's the major with an A natural. It's all about where that note is. So this note is an A natural. That means it's a major chord. If I change it to a minor chord, it's all about where that is. Okay? So let's do just one more example of these different notes. And let's go ahead and start on a B. So here's a B. We're going to look at the 3rd and how what this note is. And if it's a normal 3rd in here, I'll split these up for us. We have a B and then we have a D. So over here, here's a B. Let's imagine a D right here because it would be. So here's a B. We have 1 for the C. So here's 1, 2, 3. That means this is a minor third. Okay, so here's a minor third. Okay, and if we add this fifth up here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a B to an F. So here's a B. We go to the C. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. However, notice that we were looking for 7 for that perfect fifth. That is pretty crucial. So what we have to do in this case, if we want a minor chord, or if we want a perfect fifth in general, we actually have to raise this top note. We have to go to the F sharp, or to go to the F and make it a sharp. Now it's a perfect fifth. Okay, otherwise it was a tritone, a diminished fifth. Those right there are really crunchy, but here's a major, or a perfect fifth. That sounds much better. So now going back to this chord, we have a B, we have a D, that was a minor third, remember, and now we add that perfect fifth. If we just leave it like this, by the way, it's a diminished triad, which this is something that we'll go into with advanced. But we have to have a perfect fifth from the root to the fifth, and then that third is a major or minor, depends on whether the triad itself is major or minor. In this case, it is a minor triad, so this is minor. If we were to make it major, we would need to create a major third between the root and the third. Okay, so in order to do that, we need 4 half steps. So here's the B. We start with C down here, 1, 2, 3, 4. We need a D sharp, so we're going to raise that. And then we also, of course, have to have our F sharp for a perfect fifth. Okay, so, So there's a major triad in there. Okay, so here's diminished. Here is minor. Here's major. And then the last thing that advanced students will go on to is augmented, which is even crazier. All right, now that is kind of the long way around, in my opinion. Here's how I actually imagine things. So I'm going to have a triad in here, and I need to know if this is major or minor. What I'm going to do actually is look at the root of my chord. So the root is this bottom note, it's a D. I'm going to think about the key of D. Now the key of D, I know, has 2 sharps. So I'm going to go and add those 2 sharps in there. So in the key of D, I have F and C, fat cats. Remember the order of sharps. So, oh, that changed my triad. Should not have done that. Oh dear. Okay, imagine this F had a sharp on it like I had. I'll just do that. Here we go. So there's the chord as I had it written. Now, if I need to understand if this chord's major or minor, I'm going to think about the key signature. If all the notes fit into the key signature of the root note, so the root is D, so the key of D has 2 sharps. If all of my notes fit into the key of D, then it's going to be a major chord. Okay, so here I have a D that fits in, obviously. I have an F sharp that holds because there is a sharp in the key signature. And then I have an A, and there's no sharp or flat on the A. So this is a major chord. Okay, D, F sharp, A, major chord. Now, if I would have changed the F to a natural, now the notes would not fit into the chord, so I know it's something different. In this case, it's a minor because from that bottom note, from the root to the third, I have a minor third. So here's a D, 1, 2, 3. That's only a minor third. I still have 7 from the D to the A for the perfect fifth, but this is a minor chord. Okay, so I'm always thinking about where, what key signature is on that root note, and then do the notes fit into that key signature. All right, so say we have a key signature that is built off of the key of E flat, for example. So I'm going to imagine the key of E flat, which I know has 3 flats. So I'm just going to change that right there. And then I'm going to have an E flat. Remember, the key signature has this E flat up here, so it's got to be a flat. E flat, G, B flat. And yeah, so I'm going to insert those in there. I have an E flat. My third needs to be, I'm looking for a major chord in this case. That way I know if it's major. So here's an E flat. To the next note, I need 4 for a major third. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That holds true. Do I have a perfect fifth between my root and my fifth. Here's E flat, I'm going all the way up to B flat. So here's E flat, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, I do. This chord is major. Okay? If I had a flat on the G, this would now become a minor chord because I have a minor third. Remember, I have E flat up here, and and this G flat does not fit into the key signature. It's actually a half step lower, so I know it's a minor third. So E flat to G flat is 1, 2, 3, and then I still had E flat to B flat, which is 7. So this one is a minor chord. All right, as you head over to musictheory.net, there are two different things that you can do. First of all is chord identification. The other one is chord construction, where you can construct the chord. Now, when you pull this up by default, it's going to have several crazy things. First of all, key signatures, you need to add some in there, or just make sure that they're set. Chords, you're going to have many more of these checked. Right now, basic, just major, minor. And then difficulty. Default for me was level 2, and that had some extra accidentals in there that made it a little confusing. This one will have no accidentals. I'd recommend level 1 and level 2 for you guys. Now, here's the thing about how this is going to work. In this chord right here, I'm wanting to know if this is major or minor. So I'm going to ignore this key signature for right now. Okay, just completely ignore it. So I'm going to look at the G, B, and D. If I can do it one of two ways. Again, I can look at the steps between them. So I have a G to a B. So here's G, 1 or 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Major chord, or major third. I'm looking for a perfect fifth. Make sure we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 would have been the C sharp, and then 7. So I have a major third and a perfect fifth. That means this is a major triad. Okay, this one right here, I'm just going to skip ahead to a minor triad when I find one, which all these are major. It's major, major. Here we go. Here is one in the key of, well, we think about the key of F because that's the root note. So the key of F has one flat and it has a B flat. So I'm looking to see if these notes fit into the key signature. Now this A, you have to keep in mind the key signature that is here, it is actually an A flat. So from an F to an A flat, I know that an A flat does not belong in the key of F. I'm hoping this is making sense. This is getting a little advanced. The key of F, because that's root note, our root note only has a B flat, but this is an A flat, so something's amiss. This is likely a minor chord. So let's go and check out the other way. Here's an F, we're going up to A flat. 0, 1, 2, 3. That's a minor third, and then my perfect fifth is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this one's a minor triad. So that's how I normally work out chords, and I can just look at it, look at the notes, think about the key signature, and does it fit in? If it does, it's major. If it does not, it's likely going to be minor. Okay, the other thing is going to chord construction, where you can conduct or compose the requested chord. Again, you're going to want to change some things, limit your amount of chords to just major or minor for now. And we'll just keep it there for fun. All right, a minor triad. I have an A, a C, and an E. So I'm going to think. The key of A has 3 sharps. Fat cats go. I have a F, C, and G. In this case, the C would be sharp for a major chord. So now it's natural, and that's okay. So this one is a minor. Wait. Oh, sorry, it had an E flat in it. Oh dear. I need to cancel out that E flat, because then I have a major or a perfect fifth from the A to the E. So there we go. Okay, minor triad. I have a D, F, and A. Key of D is 2 sharps. One of them is an F. So this F would be sharped if it was a major, but it's minor. And the A is a perfect fifth from D to A. So that was correct as written. All right, that is your task. Hop on musictheory.net. See how you do with major minor triads.